What is going on, people? We are Tottenham TV, back here for another Tottenham update. We're going to go dive deep into the last 24 hours of Tottenham news. We're going to start off talking about Ollie Skipp. Sky Sports are saying that Leicester are among several clubs interested in Ollie Skipp, but it is unlikely that he will leave Tottenham due to his homegrown status. Have said in the past that I think it is probably the right time to move Skipp on. I do understand the club keeping him because of that status. However, it is very unfortunate, and it's probably not the right thing just to keep around just because of that status, because it's going to hold him back massively in his career. Yes,
the problem is it's probably the right time for us and for him, but unfortunately, because of this issue, and if we sell him, it means we're going to be two squad spaces down. That means a squad size of 23. Do we need that extra body there? I guess on the positive side, he did show last season an ability, if he needs to fill in, left back or other places, he can do that potentially to a decent standard. But, he's going to want to play in, some minutes in his favourite position. And with the emergence of people like Gray now, Bergval's come in, we've still got Sarr, we've got Bentancur, we've got Basuma. I mean, I just don't see where he's getting the minutes in midfield. It's really, really difficult.
Is it worth just going with one less man in the squad and maybe just focusing and giving those minutes to the youth players anyway and kind of helping their development if Skipp isn't the right fit and he's not going to play anyway?
I would probably argue, yeah. I would probably argue it's better just to get the money. And yes, we're going to have to be a smaller squad, but he's not even going to play that much anyway, so what's the point of keeping him around? But unless they've got other plans for him for other positions, or maybe more plans to play him in midfield, but I just don't see where the minutes are coming from Ollie Skipp. I would just let him go and develop, let him seek his kind of his own time, his own career, because at the moment it's stagnating badly, and I feel bad for him. So I kind of feel like why Spurs are hesitant to let him go, but I think it's probably the best thing for everyone.
Yeah, I agree with that. Let's move on and talk about Richarlison. A publication called HITC claimed that Richarlison has confirmed to the Saudi Pro League that he would be interested in a move, and they are ready to step up their interest in him in the coming weeks. We've heard a couple of Saudi clubs are interested. We have heard in the past, and obviously Richarlison came and made a statement saying that he's staying at the club for the coming season. However, HITC claims that things have changed.
Well, they're not the most reliable source, that's fair to say, but we'll have to wait and see whether that's actual. I don't think we'll really know until an offer comes in, and at that point, because I think Richarlison, I reckon he does want to stay. I reckon if it was up to him, he'd be at Tottenham next season. But I think he's also a player who needs to feel wanted. He needs to feel the love for the club he's at, and if Tottenham do end up accepting a bid, and they're telling him, look, we were willing to let you go, if you want to go to Saudi, maybe he'll think about that and think, do they really want me? Maybe they don't actually want to keep me. And from that point of view, I could go to Saudi for a year, get a load of money, and then potentially come back to Europe in a year's time, or even just spend a few years in Saudi. Maybe he's thinking that way. But I'd be surprised if he is the one pushing this move.
Yeah, I would agree with that. But the way I look at it is that if you could sell him for the rumoured fee of 60 million, get someone in like Tony and have change on that, so you're upgrading the player for a lesser fee and getting more money in the bank there. Plus, with the emergence of Will Lankshear here, Sonny, who can play there as well, I think that's probably the route that we should go down.
I agree. I think if we can get 60 million for him, I think that's probably a good deal, get our money back, and then we can use players who are more suited to the system. But on the other hand, if he was to stay here, I do think this is a player who could potentially, he showed last season when he's fit and he's on form, he can score goals in the system. So
that's the key thing though, isn't it? When he's fit, like ever since he's come here, he's been plagued with injuries. In his first year, he wasn't really fit for the whole season. Last year, in and out for the whole season. And even now he's injured. Yeah,
but look, at Everton, he was pretty available quite a lot. So I think he is a player who if he can stay fit, he can be very useful. So I wouldn't be, in a rush to get rid of him if I cut price fee. But I think if the fee is right, I'm happy to let him go.
Let's talk about potential incomings now, and a new name to the pot. Well, actually an old name, but a new name for this window is Adrien Rabiot. Tutto Juve say that Tottenham are in the picture to sign Adrien Rabiot. The midfielder is available on a free transfer after his Juventus contract has expired. Fabrizio Romano also said that Adrien Rabiot does dream of a move to the Premier League this summer.
I like Rabiot a lot. I kind of feel like it's right player, wrong time kind of thing. I don't see the need for him right
It
now.
would be a bit like signing Fernando Llorente, maybe not to that extreme.
Yeah, I know what you mean, but look, I think he's a really good player. He showed for France, he's so consistently picked in their first team every single year. There's a reason for that. Even though they've got so much talent, Deschamps always goes back to Rabiot because he's reliable. I think over the past few seasons, he's really got that consistency. There was a lot of question marks about his attitude and all these different things, but I think for Juve and for France over the last few years, he's actually been really consistent and a really good player, and he's been a big part of those French teams that have been very successful at international level. So I can understand and also he's on a free, so I can understand the temptation, but I'm looking at where he'd fit in at Tottenham. I think his best position is in a 4-3-3 on that left-hand side. I don't see him fitting in there for us right now. Although he's a good player, it's hard to turn down a player of that quality on a free, but I just don't see him being a necessary signing. I think he will definitely command big wages. I think his wage demands will be pretty massive. I think would be interested. I just don't see Tottenham paying the money that he would want, I reckon.
Yeah, I've said it time and time again. I just don't see where there is a space for another midfielder unless we are getting rid of someone like a Bissouma or a Bentancur. If we do get rid of one of them, then yeah, there's a space and maybe he could fit the bill. But I can't see us getting rid of either of them this summer. There's no real rumours of it. So yeah, I don't think that this one's a starter, to be honest. Let's talk about Federico Chiesa. Court Offside says that Tottenham want to sign Federico Chiesa and have matched the €6 million a year contract offer he has on the table from his current club, Juventus. Spurs are keen on Chiesa with doubts over Richarlison's future. I've made my position on Chiesa very clear. I would love to see him through the door. I think he's got bags of ability. Hasn't shown it much since that ACL, but I feel like under a different manager in a different system that really suits him, I feel like he can get back to his best. And I'm not sure about this publication because they do say that he has a contract offer on the table from Juventus when other publications are saying that Juventus just want to get rid of him with 1 year left in his contract. Maybe they want to get him to sign a new contract so his value goes up a little bit. Maybe that's the case. But, you know, if we can get someone like him for 20-25 million, that is great value in this market.
Look, it's Court Offside, so I wouldn't take anything they say really with anything more than a pinch of salt. But
you say that, but you know, people like Charles Watts work for Court Offside these days.
Yeah, and he's not a bad journalist, to be fair. But I think I don't know. I've never seen anything reliable come out from them from a Tottenham point of view before. And as you say, they're mentioning that he's got a contract offer for Juventus. That doesn't sound right. Also, they're saying his future's tied to Richarlison. I don't know how much sense that makes as well. But he is a good player. He would come at a good value, so maybe it is worth the risk. I do think he wouldn't be my number one choice, although I do like him as a player, but I think there are better options out there.
Brazilian publication O Globo are saying that Tottenham are interested in Fulham midfielder Andreas Pereira, who's valued at 35 million. In the same article, they said Chelsea are also interested and are willing to offer and match that fee for the Fulham Brazilian midfielder. I do like him, but I just feel like we have better in the squad, so why bring him in?
What? How much are they saying? 35 million?
Yeah.
It's not a terrible price, but again, I don't see the need for him. We've got Maddison there now. Bergval's coming through. There's two options there, which I'm really happy to move forward with.
Kulusevski as well.
Kulusevski can play there. Potentially, if we sign Eze, he could also play that role. If we have to see what happens with another forward signing. So I just don't see the need for Andreas Pereira. I just don't see I feel like it's just a waste of money, like 35 million. Well, I don't see the use of him.
All right, let's concentrate on the players that we do have here in terms of the youth players. Mikey Moore, a publication says that, Chelsea ITK says that Chelsea and another Premier League club both offered 8-figure sums for Mikey Moore last summer. Tottenham are now extremely keen to fast-track Moore and another player into the first team this season. Which
is really encouraging news if that's true, because there's a lot of excitement about Moore. There's a lot of questions. How involved will he be? Is he going to be part of the first team next season? How are we going to use him? And they're reporting that we're willing to fast track him. So that is a really promising sign. Obviously, brilliant in Hearts in pre-season. Reportedly scored against Cambridge as well in that behind the closed doors friendly. So he's really started the season as you would have wished if you were to use him in the first team. And we've seen at the moment 16-year-olds on the world stage performing wonders. You've got Endrick, who's 17, who just got a big money move to Real Madrid. He's also playing quite well for Brazil when it scored a few goals. So there are young players at the moment who are really making headway. So obviously there would have been a lot of interest in him. I'm surprised that they would have gone as far as at least 10 million. That's suggesting that they've made a bid for him, which is unbelievable. But it also shows if we rejected that, how much we believe in him. So really excited about what he's going to offer this season.
Yeah, and you all know my thoughts on Mikey Moore. It was just, it was great. It was absolutely great to see him in that game against Hearts, and hopefully more to come this Saturday. Let's talk about Will Lankshear. Ali Gold says that it's understood that for the past week or so in training with the first team, Will Lankshear had been the most impressive centre forward in the group. But interesting to know, is Sonny put in that category? Because he did play number 9. He's been playing number 9 a lot last season. Is he considered as one of the centre forwards he's talking about? We know probably Alejo Veliz and Dane Scarlett will be there, but Richarlison obviously has been injured, so he hasn't been training. But do you think he's talking about Sonny as well?
I don't think so. I think because I know that Ali Gold himself likes to think of Sonny as a winger, so I reckon he's not put Sonny in that camp, albeit Son did start up front against Hearts, so that would indicate that maybe he was playing up front in the training in the lead up to this week in this friendly. But I reckon he's talking about between Lankshear, Veliz and Scarlett. I reckon between those three, and Lankshear was the most impressive.
Yeah, and it's really interesting, isn't it, because Lankshear hasn't had too much time with the first team. Veliz has. He was in and around the first team last season, was starting to get minutes, scored a goal at Brighton. Dane Scarlett has been in and around the first team for a while with various loan spells. And Lankshear's come in and impressing the most. It's great to hear, isn't it?
Unbelievable. So let's really hope he can really kick on.
And last but not least, Ali Gold tells us about the returning players. Radu Dragusin is likely to return to participate in Tottenham's tour in Asia following his post-Euros rest, and others could follow him like Mickey van der Ven and Vicario, not getting too much football at the tournament. So it looks as though all 3 of those players will be on the tour. I don't know what's going to be happening with Romero, Lo Celso and Bentancur.
Yeah, I really hope they make it to Korea. I don't think they'll be there definitely for the Japan bit, but look, you'll have to wait and see how much rest they need. Then again, Romero and Lo Celso have been celebrating, probably partying, celebrating that victory. Bentancur obviously got to the semi-final and played in the third place, unscored. So he's obviously gone to the latter stages. So when they're back, I'm not sure. I guess, is it absolutely necessary they're on the tour as well for a lot of them? I think Ange knows him well as well, so maybe he might give them that time.
All right. Well, there you have it. That is your Tottenham update for today. Let me know in the comment section below your thoughts regarding all the news stories we brought to you today. Like, subscribe and comment. And as always, come on, you Spurs.